So many of our customers have asked us, how do you actually call a predefined number using our touch panel? What we've done is using in-room controls and macros have the ability to actually create a speed dial. So today's demonstration, we're going to show how you actually call a help desk support and that call actually going through. So this is how it works. Perfect, there's our call connected. And so let's see actually how we achieve this using in-room controls and macros. So the first step is to actually create an icon on the Touch 10, which our macro can interact with. To do this, we use the in-room control editor. So we hop into the in-room control editor, and we can create a panel with the plus button here. When we create a panel, we get this view. On the right-hand side are some properties. So the panel ID is super important. This is actually the name of the panel, what we use in the macro to work out what action we do, depending on it being clicked or pressed. So this is going to be called call_support. Really important, this has to be one word. So if you want to do two words together, you have to use an underscore. Panel name is what actually appears on the touch panel, so on the Touch 10. So we're going to call this call support. The next is the panel availability. We want to make sure that this is usable out of a call. When you're using a speed dial, out of a call makes the most sense because you're actually initiating a call. So we're going to choose only out of a call. Next thing is icons. We have many icons to choose from the calling button to the information button, but probably for us, the help desk, which is the person with the headset, is the most common here. So we'll use that. Lastly is panel color. We have many colors to choose from, and we have some themes on the colors in terms of green for calling, purple for whiteboarding, orange for meetings. So since this is a calling action, let's use green. Perfect. We have one more thing we have to do, and that is actually removing the page. By default, when we click the button, a page will open, but we actually want it to perform an action. So we have to click on the page at the top here and click delete page. Now we'll see a panel without any pages can be used as an action button. Perfect. So let's export this to the codec and see what happens. So we quickly go to the right side here and click export to video system. Voila. Now we have a call to support button on there. So right now, our button actually doesn't do anything. To make it active, we need to use the macros function to listen to the button click event. So let's hop over to the macros. What I've done is actually created a predefined macro already, and I'll supply this in the documentation and in the how-to tutorial. But let's walk through what the macro does, and hopefully you can expand on it and make it bigger and better. Primarily, all the function happens within the listen to GUI function. So this is the main thing that we listen to in terms of the panel click event. And based on it being clicked, we do a certain event. So as we can see here, we look for the panel ID. So every time the panel is clicked, if the ID matches call_support, so back in the actual in-room control editor, we use the name call_support. And that's super important because this is how we relate the two areas together. And what we do is we simply dial a URI. And in this scenario, we're dialing this address. And what I've done is I created a function for dialing, and that's how we pass that address to. So let's turn this macro on and see what happens. As we can see, it starts a call and calls the help desk. And that's it. That's how simple it is. If you enjoyed this content, hit the subscribe and like button below, and let us know what you want us to cover.